Welcome, friends. I'm Lindsay, and today we have a prenatal yoga class themed around joy. Before we begin, you may want to grab a few props to assist with your poses today. A set of yoga blocks will come in handy, or if you don't have blocks, a good alternative would be a small stack of books. And you'll also want to have a folded blanket and pillow for cushioning nearby. Please consult with your doctor before you begin any exercise regimen during and after pregnancy. Today is about your personal practice, and it's extremely important that you listen to your body. Remember, yoga should never be painful, so ease off if you feel any serious discomfort today. Today, we'll be focusing on finding joy in this special time of growing babies. We know that joy is a personal choice, and by choosing it each day, we have the power to choose the direction of our life. If we wish to have more joy during this time, we must be intentional in creating it. We can train our minds to see the glass half full instead of half empty. To do this, we focus on the positive things happening each day of our pregnancy through daily gratitude, surrounding ourselves with positive people, and taking time each day to do things that nourish us and our babies. Yoga practice, by its very nature, brings us joy. Through the movement of our bodies and connection of our breath, we can find a deep, true inner joy that is unshakable by the daily discomforts and worries of pregnancy. This brings us a sense of balance that can transform our current state to one of light, happiness, and peace. This class specifically is designed to simultaneously energize our mind while relaxing our spirit and opening up the entire body. So let's find a comfortable seated position with a nice long spine. You may wish to place a folded blanket underneath you for comfort. And place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, connecting yourself to your baby. And close your eyes and bring a gentle smile to your face. And begin to relax the muscles in your body and bring awareness to your breath. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you breathe here, repeat the following mantra to yourself. I welcome joy and happiness during this special time. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. From here, we're going to warm up our wrists by gently rolling them clockwise a few times. Good, and reverse the rotation. Great, and let's work out any tension in the neck by bringing your ear to your shoulder, then gently rolling it forward and around to the other shoulder. Inhale. And exhale, roll it around to the other shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. And make your way to a tabletop position with your shoulders over your wrists and hips over your knees. Feel free to place a blanket under your knees for cushion. And if you have sensitive wrists, you may want to come up onto your fists, or maybe fold your blanket and place it just underneath your wrists. And exhale, draw the belly into the spine, tuck the tailbone, and allow your spine to round as you drop your chin to your chest for cat pose. And inhale, drop your belly towards the mat. Bring your gaze up towards the sky, open through your chest, and draw the shoulders down and away from the ears for cow pose. Focus on opening through the chest, lifting your heart to the sky. And let's continue to flow in and out of cat and cow at your own pace, breathing out for cat. And breathing in for cow. Thinking of all that brings you joy as you move here. And return the spine to a neutral position. Then gently look over your right shoulder, squeezing the obliques a bit to get a nice stretch along the left side body. And switch sides. Gently look over your left shoulder, feeling that opening on the right side body. And return to neutral. Exhale and come into cat one more time, rounding the spine. Let your head hang heavy. Good, and return to a neutral position. For balancing table, inhale, engage your core muscles and draw your left leg straight back. Flex the back toe down and keep the hips squared. Now either stay here or try lifting your right arm out in front of you. Imagine a long line of energy from the tips of your fingers all the way to your toes. Maybe find a point just ahead to focus your gaze. It will help your balance here. And keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose as you balance. And if this feels like too much for you, feel free to release the arm and focus only on lifting the leg. And exhale, release the arm and leg back down. And for the other side, bring the right leg up and flex the toes down. Either stay here or lift the left arm up parallel to the mat. Keep your core strong, breathe deeply. And release, lower your hand and foot to the ground. Now we're going to repeat that on both sides, but this time we're going to add in some gentle toe taps to really work the buttocks and the back of the thighs. Inhale and draw your left leg up, flex the toes down. Either stay here or lift the right arm up parallel to the mat. Now we're going to tap the floor with your back toes and lift it back up again 10 times. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Release the hand and the foot. For the other side, inhale and draw your right leg up. Flex the toes down. And either stay here or lift the left arm up parallel to the mat. 10 floor taps. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, remember to keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Release back down to the mat. And let's come into cat pose one more time. Exhale and round the back. Let your head hang heavy. Let it all go. And return to neutral. Let's take some hip circles next, beginning by bringing your hips over to the left and circling them around to the right. Inhale over to the left and exhale around to the right. Inhale over to the left and exhale around to the right. Find joy in this movement. Now let's reverse the rotation. Inhale over to the right and exhale around to the left. Again, inhale to the right, exhale to the left. One last time, inhale and exhale. And coming into downward facing dog, press your hands into the mat and push your hips up towards the sky. We're going to take a wider stance than normal here. Place your feet slightly wider than hips width apart to make extra room for baby. And I want you to keep your knees deeply bent here at first. Pull the belly into the spine and root your hands into the mat. And gently come up onto your toes, lifting your hips even higher. And release your heels back down. One more time, lift your heels up high. And release the heels back down. Now let's begin to pedal out your legs one at a time. Big inhales and big exhales. And now maybe try to straighten both legs as you reach your heels to the mat. And inhale, come forward into a plank position with your shoulders over your wrists. Feel free to lower the knees down to the mat here. And next we're going to exhale and bend the knees deeply, then lift the hips back up into down dog. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, come forward into plank, lower the knees if needed. Now exhale, bend the knees deeply and lift the hips back up into down dog. One last time, inhale forward. Exhale and lift back into down dog. Great work. Now let's all lower our knees down to the mat to half plank. And we're going to do 5 yoga push-ups here. So the arms should be slightly wider than the shoulders, and they should remain hugged into the body and only come down as much as is comfortable for you. Okay, ready? Here we go. Take a big breath in and exhale down. Inhale up. 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 Awesome. Now push the hips up and back into child's pose. Spread the knees wide to give your baby extra space, and sit the hips back on the heels. If needed, place a block or blanket underneath the hips for extra space here. And maybe stretch your arms forward and bring your arms into a prayer position over your head for a nice stretch in the triceps. And take some big breaths as you rest here. And coming forward one more time for another set of yoga push-ups. And take a big breath in and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. One last time, exhale down, inhale up. Great work. Push your hips back to child's pose again and rest here for a few moments. We can find joy in just showing up today. We can feel proud of taking a little time out today to focus inward and nourish ourselves and our baby. And when you're ready, gently make your way back into downward facing dog. And we're going to take a Vinyasa next. So inhale and step your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. And instead of folding forward here, we're going to exhale and just stay lifted with a flat back. Feel free to place a block under your hands here if you're struggling to reach the floor. And shift your weight slightly into the balls of your foot. See how that simple change makes a big difference in the stretch happening all along the back of your legs. And inhale, circle your arms out, around, and up towards the sky, and bring your hands together at heart center. Let's take a few breaths here in Tadasana, grounding through the feet, gently engaging the legs, tucking the tailbone under slightly. Pull the belly in towards the spine, lower the shoulders down and away from the ears, and lift up through the crown of your head. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling strong here and joyful of what's to come. And on your next inhale, raise both arms high to the sky. And exhale, lean to the left for a nice side stretch along the right side body. You can place your left arm down along your leg for support. And either stay here or take your right leg and step it behind the left. Again, see how this simple step makes a big difference for this stretch. And release, come back to center, raise the arms back up. And for the other side, exhale and lean over to the right for a nice side stretch along the left side body. And either stay here or try stepping that left leg behind your right to go deeper into the stretch. And inhale back to center, bringing the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold all the way down, keeping a flat back. Place the hands on the floor, step back into plank pose, option to lower the knees here. Then bend the knees deeply before you push your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Okay, so you will want to have your blocks or book stack handy for this next set of poses. And from here, sweep your left foot forward and lower your right knee to the mat. Remember, you always have the option to place a folded blanket under your knees for cushion. And let's just start with the hands on the hips to find the proper alignment. I want you to square your hips to the front of the room and make sure the front knee is stacked directly over the ankle. And you're welcome to come up on the back toes if it helps your balance here. And to keep safe, we're going to find some lift in this pose by engaging our pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is like a hammock of muscles that stretches from your pubic bone in the front to your tailbone in the back. So in this pose, I want you to squeeze those muscles and find a lift in the pelvis and hips. What we don't want is to sink too far down and overstretch the front thighs, hip, and belly. So we're going to squeeze the muscles and imagine lifting that hammock upwards. You'll find that the pose becomes way more active than passive here. So let's take a big breath in, fill the lungs with air, and lift the arms up high to the sky. And we'll exhale into half monkey by straightening the front leg and bringing our hands to our blocks. Point the front toes to the sky, and it's all right if you have to bend the knees here. Maybe play around with the height of your blocks to see if it helps with the stretch. Also, it's important that we keep the spine nice and straight here. We want to give our baby as much space as possible in these poses. And let's repeat that flow a few more times. Inhale and lift up into low lunge. Gently squeeze and lift that hammock. And exhale into half monkey again, keeping the back long. One last time. Inhale into low lunge, finding that lift. And exhale into half monkey, releasing the left hamstring with each breath. And on your next breath, make your way into downward facing dog. And let the head hang heavy here. Let it all go. Tapping into that feeling of joy once more by thinking of a few reasons we're grateful. And for the other side, sweep your right leg forward into low lunge, keeping the knee stacked over the ankle. Square off your hips, then lift the arms up towards the sky, lifting. And exhale into half monkey. Let's flow here a few more times. Inhale, lift into low lunge. And exhale into half monkey, using your blocks for support. Inhale up into low lunge. And exhale into monkey. Great job. Let's make our way to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, step or walk both feet up to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway with a flat back. Inhale, circle your arms up and around, and then bring them to heart center at your chest. Take a few big breaths here. Now inhale your arms up high again. And begin to sink down as if you are going to sit in a chair. And hold here for 3, 2, 1. And come back up again. Big breath in. And exhale down into chair again. Don't worry about how low you can go here. Just focus on keeping that core connected and the pelvic floor lifted. And rise back up again. Big inhale. And sink down again into chair pose. This time we're going to pulse here for 10 counts. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Great job. Exhale and swan dive forward, placing your hands on the mat. Come back into plank pose. Lower the knees here if needed. Then bend your knees deeply and lift up into downward facing dog. And this time, let's bring to mind 3 people that bring us joy. Imagine their faces and all the reasons they bring light to your life. Inhale and sweep your left foot forward to the front of the mat. For Warrior 2, plant your right foot down at a 45-degree angle. Make sure the heel of your front foot is aligned with the arch of your back foot. Bend the front knee and stack it over the ankle. Inhale and cartwheel your arms out straight and parallel to the ground. Breathe here. And we're going to lift our arms here 5 times. Inhale, lift the arms to touch. Exhale, resist it back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale and exhale. Now drop your left forearm to your front thigh. Inhale and reach your right arm up and over. Imagine a straight line from your feet all the way to your fingers. An option to stay here, maybe place your arm on your belly, connecting to baby. Or maybe place a block in front of your left foot for support and raising the top arm high. And inhale, straighten your front knee. And then exhale and drop your left hand down to rest on your thigh, shin, ankle, or foot. Rotate your heart to the sky in triangle pose. You also have the option to place a block in front of the left foot for extra space here. And breathe deeply. And exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. And for the other side, inhale and sweep your right foot forward to the front of the mat. And plant the back foot down at a 45-degree angle. Make sure the heel of your front foot is aligned with the arch of your back foot. Bend the knee and stack it over the ankle. Inhale, cartwheel your arms out straight and parallel to the ground for Warrior 2. Breathe here. Arm lifts are next. Inhale, lift the arms to touch. Exhale, resist it back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Drop your right forearm to your front thigh for side angle pose. Inhale and reach your left arm up and over. Find an option that works for you. Either keep your arm on the thigh or place it on a block in front of you. And inhale and straighten your front knee. And then exhale and drop your right hand down to rest on your thigh, shin, ankle, or foot. Rotate your heart to the sky in triangle pose. And breathe here. And exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. And let's rest for a few moments in child's pose, lowering the knees to the mat and pushing your hips back to your heels. Widen the knees to make room for baby and allow yourself to melt into the ground beneath you. And maybe turn your mind inward and think about your baby. Imagine him or her healthy, happy, and safe. And let your heart fill up with love for this tiny human you're growing. And when you're ready, come up first to a seated position, then to standing facing the side of the mat. For goddess pose, turn your toes out about 45 degrees. And bend your knees and come into a wide squat, working to get your thighs parallel to the mat. Keep your knees pointed in the same direction as your toes. Point your tailbone down and slightly bring your hips forward. Engage your core muscles and remember to lift the pelvic floor here. The hands can remain on the hips, rise up high to the sky. Maybe place them in prayer at heart center, or wrap them around your belly, connecting you to baby. And breathe deeply here, in through the nose and out through the nose. And now we're going to take 10 tiny pulses here, really focusing on lifting that hammock as we come back up. Okay, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. To come out of the pose, gently straighten the legs. Bring your hands to your hips for stability. And we're going to fold next into a wide forward fold. But first, adjust your heels so that they're slightly wider than your toes. And then slowly hinge forward from your hips and lengthen through the crown of your head. Place your hands on the ground or on a set of blocks in front of you. And it's really important that you keep a long spine here to allow your baby as much room as possible. And feel yourself surrender here. And bring your hands to your hips, and with the flat back, slowly come back up to standing. Now come down to a kneeling position on the mat. Place a blanket under the knees if you need extra cushion. And bring your left leg out long to the left. Keep your hip stacked over the bent knee. And place a block under your right shoulder and rest your hand there as you lift your left arm up and over. Now we're in modified side plank, and you should feel a nice stretch along the whole side body. Next, we're going to inhale and lift up into gate pose, placing our left arm along our left leg and our right arm comes up and over. And exhale back into side plank. Inhale up into gate pose. Exhale. And one last time, inhale into gate pose. Great, now come back up onto both knees and let's set up for the other side. Your left hip is stacked over your left knee and your right leg comes out long. And place the left arm on a block beside you and lift your right arm up and over. Now inhale up into gate pose. Stretch your right arm along your right leg and lift the left arm up and over. Exhale back into side plank. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time, inhale up into gate. Awesome. From here, let's come down into a squatting position for Malasana squat. You're welcome to sit on your block here. And let's bring our hands to heart position, gently pressing the elbows to the knees, feeling a nice stretch in the hips. And be sure to keep a flat back. And we're going to lift the pelvic floor 5 times here. Think of gently lifting that hammock of muscles every time you squeeze. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Great work. Make your way to a seated position. And then bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees gently fall open to either side. If you're feeling uncomfortable here, try placing a block under each knee for extra space. Grab your toes around the ankle or shins with your hands and press firmly into your sit bones. Sit up tall, lengthening through the crown of your head, and begin to hinge forward at the hips towards the mat. Keep your back and neck lengthened and only come forward as much as you can keep the back straight. And just breathe here, thinking of nothing, just clearing your mind and enjoying the quiet. And lifting back up, let's extend the left leg out long to the side. And inhale the right arm up and over. We're stretching the inner thighs and side body here. And keep breathing. Switching sides, bring the left leg in and extend the right leg out long. Inhale the left arm up and over and find your breath. And inhale back up. And bringing both legs out long in a wide-legged position. Again, keeping a long spine. Hinge forward slightly until you feel a nice stretch in your inner thighs. Place your hands on a block in front of you if you wish. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And when you're ready, gently rise back up. For Savasana, we have a few different options depending on what is most comfortable for you. You're welcome to sit in a comfortable seated position. Or you might like to try Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. Place a folded blanket or cushion underneath your hips to keep the lower body slightly elevated. This pose is great for relieving lower back and belly pressure during pregnancy and has the added benefit of sending extra blood flow to the uterus. Or you might like to use your blocks and bolster to find an upright reclined position. Place your blocks under your bolster to prop them up, and place your blanket under your hips for extra cushion. And wherever you are, place one hand on your baby and the other on your heart. Gently relax the muscles in your face and allow your body to become heavy. For the next few minutes, allow your mind and body to be at peace. Reflecting back on today's theme of joy, we can find joy in how hard we worked during this class, both mentally and physically. We can remind ourselves as we move back into our day that joy is a choice, even in times of change and uncertainty. And we can be intentional about living a joyful life by surrounding ourselves with positive people, being grateful, and taking time to nourish ourselves and baby each and every day. Feel free to rest here as long as you like. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. We'll see you next time. Namaste.